found is they would rather, even though beyond the 10 years they'll still be paying, rather go through Fed Loan Services anyway, and just pay that another 10 years at a lower amount and then get the rest of it, even though they might already pay that.
Yeah, there's an enmity for the servicer. Fed Loan Servicing is the pinnacle, the city on the hill as far as loan servicers go. And they're the only ones that administer this program. When you apply for this, your loan is pulled from your servicer to Fed Loan Servicing. That's a great thing. I've seen people say, I'll pay a little bit more to do that because I hate Nelnet or Nalbion so much. I can't stand paying these people. I'd rather pay a little bit more to get a better service.
Yeah, or because I'm being it 10 years anyway, might as well.
So let's say I graduated 10 years ago, and a year in, I call my servicer, say this is way too expensive. They switch me to an extended plan. 9 years I've been paying that. It's very possible that that extended payment plan can cost more than if I were to do the income-driven plan. So you'll run into some teachers that are like, how is that even, that doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm making a higher plan, it's not qualified. How is this possible? Again, it's an example of how the servicers are not doing you a service and why they should need to talk to you. How many of your teachers make too much money? I like saying that. None of them. Nobody raises their hand if you ask that. Say, raise your hand if you make too much money. The income-driven repayment option, it takes their income, the household size, so how many people live in their house, their debt, and their interest rate, and it cranks out a magic formula as far as what their monthly payment will be. Yeah.
Does that ever exceed the standard repayment option?
No.
Well, if you're married to a neurosurgeon, there are times, there's a certain break point around 120 grand household, 115, 120 grand, where the income base and the standard are very close to each other. So
you got to have that kind of income to get to have that.
Correct.
So they do take the spouse's income into consideration?
It depends on how they file their taxes. Great question. You guys are just stepping me down the road.
But because of the new income repay option, which does take your spouse's income, Fed Loan has started requiring, even if you're filing separately, they still want your spouse's income. Doesn't necessarily affect your payment, but they keep it on file.
Yeah, they say they don't use it.
Just happened to one of my clients recently.
Yeah.
But they didn't, they kept her payment low.
And that's one thing, very much, especially with Rob in the room, the last thing we're ever going to do is offer tax advice. We're going to say, these are the options that might be available to you. You might have a lower payment and it might make sense. Go to whoever does your taxes. You know, if you do your own taxes, go to TurboTax and figure out what it would be if you filed separately, if you filed jointly. What would the difference be? What deductions might you be missing? I am not a tax advisor. I am not going to pretend to advise you on your taxes. I'm not going to make a recommendation, but I will educate you on what this looks like. So, and that's really what you're doing.
Send all checks to johnbernardi@johnbernardi.com.
Yeah, my secret email at
in
gmail.com.
In Mexico.
Yeah.
All right, so we have all these different options, and for those of you that have actually been doing this, are you finding your customers maybe have been teaching for 5 or 10 years, they've already moved from a standard repayment plan to something other to make it a little bit easier, which makes them non-qualified?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Let's do this. Let's sidebar that until he gets to his second presentation.
Yeah, great question. And
Great question.
way too many. So another point, you can break up with these plans at any time. You're not married to any of them. If I file for the income-driven repayment option and then I hit the lottery, I'm not going to want to keep paying based on my income. I'm going to switch to a standard, and you can do that at any time. I'm actually probably going to pay it off, but those are examples. Like, let's say a single teacher marries a lawyer, whomever, or a business owner. You can switch that at any time to whatever's best for you. Yeah.
So if you, let's say you pay 5 years in a standard plan and then move to one of the non-qualified plans, but you go back to the standard plan, does that 5 years, does the clock restart?
It absolutely does not.
Okay.
The important line here, this bottom one, make 120 qualifying payments. So any payment you've made after 2007 counts. A lot of your teachers have probably made at least a few qualifying payments. It's not consecutive qualifying payments. It is simply qualifying payments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
so
important.
if they miss some, then they can still.
Yeah, so that it's not. Hope is not lost if they are on a different plan. It's frustrating, sure, but we're going to fix that mess. Figure out how many qualifying payments they have, which might take a little bit
Where do you find that number for the person? Because they're going to say, well, I don't know, I changed my plan.
You got to call the service.
The servicer? Is that where you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a teacher, and I know we're not supposed to do this, but like, she's on one of those, she's on like graduated, and she's like, I can't change my plan because if I do, my payments are gonna go up. And I'm like, yes, they're gonna go up, but they're gonna be qualified, and then you can, she's like, no, I won't do it. How?
The important thing to do, and this is something that we as a company, we recognize the big need for the student loan forgiveness and the education. The fact is, 44 million people qualify for this plan, for the public service loan forgiveness plan, and less than 1 million have applied, like 800,000 have applied. So the awareness is simply not there, and like Keith said, in Marita's direction, we really wanted to jump on this and be ahead of the game. In so doing, we've been a little bit lax in providing you with the best resources and training. So that's something we're making a big push to do with Back to School. There's several internet videos coming that you can send out to your clients. There are new pieces, direct mail pieces. There are new training materials. And in fact, my favorite probably is a worksheet that I'll pass around after lunch that basically has 3 columns. It's got current plan, so this is what you're doing. I actually figured out I draw this every time I meet with somebody. So there's the current plan, your current monthly payment, what you pay, how long you're going to be paying, and what the total cost is over the life of the loan. Second column will be teacher loan forgiveness and what that looks like, and then the third column will be another option that's available. That basically highlight what are the costs of these options and which is the best one for you. Again, not making a recommendation, simply educating them on what's available to them. Yeah, I like that line.
Just so you guys know, Mr. Bernardi and a special guest will be at the sales rally with new materials to give us exciting information.
Absolutely.
Hey, John?
Yeah.
You mentioned the public service verification form. Is there, when 2017 rolls around October, is there going to be an actual application process, or is it just if you've been verified and you've been making the qualified payments, you automatically get it?
You are grandfathered in. That's one of the reasons we encourage people to make sure they're eligible and certified before and validate their employment. But there will be an application that debuts October 1, 2017, that basically is what you need to file in order to achieve the forgiveness.
So they'll basically turn that verification into an application.
Right, which they ask you to file annually anyway. Yeah. You don't really need to. I'd recommend you do. It's a great way to sit down with your client again, fill out this form annually, come talk to me, whatever. But the important piece is make sure that every time they change employers, they file it again, or that they file it, and then if they change employers, they file it again, because you don't want to have to backtrack through 3 different school districts or 4 districts to get that taken care of.
Okay, so there is going to be something, because I have someone who's been on it since she started, and she was under the belief that when that magic date goes around, they were just going to say congratulations and got to
There's
do
an
that.
application, but again, if you've gone through this process, you're already vetted. It's like being pre-qualified. That's really what it is. I don't want to use that term, but there you have it. So that's the presentation. I put up a little slider at the end, and you might see I assisted an agent a couple weeks ago, and I actually left her information at the end here. But this slide is also missing from our current presentation. There's no call to action. There's nothing that says, come talk to me. I very much encourage you to, and this is a great way to also speak to a little bit of the other things that we do as a company. Again, I like to say we've got the business side, the partnership side. This is one of the partnership things we do. This is just one piece of what we provide to districts at no cost. We do have all sorts of educator-tailored products. They really sell themselves if I'm doing my job correctly. And that's how you do it.
Can they find out how many qualified payments they have online?
The answer to that is no. I'll tell you right now, the answer to that is no. It's, if you go to, let's say Navient, for example.
Yeah, because they're the ones that tells me I'm a moron and I just need to go online. I can find all this out.
You can't figure out the number of qualified payments because you have to go to the servicer to determine what type of payments they've been making and when. You need to know, was it after October 1, 2007, and what type of payment was it? And if you go to the loan summary screen, I'm very familiar with Navient's, then there's nothing there in detail. They purposely won't tell you the total cost of the loan. Navient doesn't even tell you your last payment date. Yeah,
they don't tell you what kind of plan you're on either. It's really vague.
And that's purposely vague by design because it's in their best interest. Yeah.
Do you work with AES?
American Educator Services out of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
They just, they quickly say you don't qualify. What is the reason again? People that use them, they don't qualify for I haven't had anyone with AES qualify.
Sure, they also do private loans.
So it's just Odom.
Yeah, they do federal and private. So they could, if they, maybe the person you're talking with only has the private side of loans.
Yeah.
They bought a lot of private loans from some different banks as well, and I've seen a lot of that.
That's fine.
Yeah. They're also
Private
difficult.
loans, are you going to talk about, is there anything we can suggest?
Jack set this question up. We've got a solution for people with private loans, and we're going to talk about that after lunch.
Okay, okay.
Electric.
Electric, yeah.
Where do
Screen
we
fades to
find-
black.
Where do we find that information?
This is on the comm center
Where?
with a terrible blue background. I had to change it last minute to this kind of easy to read white deal.
What's it called?
Yeah, how do we find
It is the
I was
approved
trying to
student
find it.
loan mini session.
Approved student loan management.
But for your convenience, we're actually going to email it out to you. So if you
Thank
want to
you.
look for it,
Thank you.
that's great. Our job is to work for you and make things easier for you. And what we're going to do is provide you with this and